Hi, I'm Daniel, and I've decided to go racing. A little background. I've been riding bikes and mopeds and scooters since I can remember myself. The first bike that I learned to ride was a Soviet Minsk that my uncle had. And ever since I rode that bike, I really wanted to have my own bike. But my parents weren't too keen on the idea, especially considering that my mom had a really nasty accident on a scooter. So they didn't get me one. When I had some money of my own, I got myself my first bike. It was a Yamaha FZX 250 Zeal. A really fun little bike with an inline 4 250cc engine. It sounded really cool. I thought it sounded like a 600 sports bike. After a couple of seasons, I sold it and I bought a Suzuki SV 650 off of my friend. It was such a difference going from an inline 4 250 to a V-twin 650. It felt like the most powerful bike in the whole world. It pulled so hard I was scared it was gonna just get away from me. I even learned how to pop some wheelies on it. By the way, don't do that. There are tons of posts about it. When you're popping a wheelie, the engine doesn't get enough oil. I got lucky, my bike was fine, but don't do it. After a season with that bike, I decided to sell it because I wanted something that I could take on a long trip that would be really comfortable going 500 miles. And the naked street bike didn't really do that for me. It was a brilliant bike on the streets. It had more than enough power and it was really nimble and really comfortable in the city. But as soon as you got on a highway, it was just terrible and unbearable. So I sold it and I got myself a Honda VFR. It's a wonderful bike. I mean, you can comfortably cruise at 120 miles an hour and not feel tense at all. It is my first injection bike. It has a V4 engine, which is a really good combination of a low down grunt of a V-twin engine as well as the top end of an inline 4. It is such a comfortable bike and I was positive that I'm gonna have it for the next 3 or 4 years. 1 month after I bought a VFR, I saw a picture of my friend standing on the top of the podium and spraying champagne. And it just struck me because I was always interested in racing, whether it's cars or motorcycles or whatever, but I never thought about it as something that I could be a part of. I called my friend and he told me all about how he started racing, how he attended all these track days, how he's been training for this. About a minute after we talked, he sent me a text saying there is gonna be a track day the following Saturday. So basically in 2 days, I borrowed a racing suit of a friend because I didn't have one and rode about 2 hours in an unbearable heat to the track. I attended almost all of the sessions. And those who have been to track days can testify that it's not a really easy task to do, especially after riding 2 hours to the track and then having to ride 2 more hours back home. The following week, I bought myself a racing suit and the next Saturday I was at the track again. I rode 2 hours to the track, attended all of the sessions and went back. This time though, I got my knee down and it was such an exciting moment. You can believe the excitement that I had when I understood that had happened. My time went down from about 150 to about 141, which sounds okay, 9 seconds off the time. But when you consider that a good time for that track is 1 minute 25 or lower, I really had a long way to go. So I went back to my friend and he put me in touch with his coach, who is a multi-champion in motocross and local superbike championships. And his son has just finished second in the European Supersport Championship. He was training people at the same track. So the following weekend I was at the same track again. But this time not on my VFR, I was on a small pit bike. And we started with the basics, like holding the bike with your knees, relaxing on the bars, body position during acceleration, braking and cornering. And over the next month, I basically spent my weekends there. But it was really hard in terms of commute. So I thought I'd buy my own pit bike and train at an empty parking lot nearby. This way I would train more often and then come to the track every once in a while to work with the coach. It was a total disaster. This is how I was riding the first time I came to the coach. Dragging the knee and everything. And this is how I rode on my own on my brand new bike. This was the most frustrating week in my life. I beat the hell out of my brand new bike, which was the only brand new bike I ever had. I tore holes in my racing suit and I felt I was going nowhere. I thought it was the tires or the tarmac or the dust or the sand or whatever. Next week I went to the track to see the coach and it turned out my tire pressure was too high and the bike basically was sliding all over the place. The pressure was fixed, but my phobias weren't. And it took me a while to get back to the point of having the confidence, the speed and the angle that I had the very first time I came to train with the coach. And that's what I did. The pit bike was in my car basically the whole time. And as soon as I had some free time, I would go to that parking lot and train. But now I have another problem. Because this is what the parking lot looks like right now. Not exactly the best conditions to have your bike at full lean, trying to get your elbow down. There are, however, other things you can do around here right now. But that's another story. So again, I need to drive 2 hours to a place that has an indoor go-kart track to get some training done. So what's next? Well, there are several things. First of all, I'll continue training as much as I can to improve my riding style. I stopped riding my VFR and I haven't taken it to the track ever since. I was too scared to crash it because it wasn't really prepared for the track, and being a sports tourer, it wasn't really born to be a track-ready machine. So I just stuck it in the garage. And now I need to sell it. And since the weather right now looks like this, not a lot of people are looking for a new bike to buy. I hope I don't have to wait till the middle of the spring to sell it. Once I sell the VFR, I need to buy a new bike. I still don't know if it's going to be a 600 or a liter bike, what brand it's going to be, etc. All I know is going to be a sports bike and I'm going to be preparing it for the track. And basically that's what the blog is going to be about. The next season I am going to be racing. And since I've said it right here, I don't think I can back out. And if I have time, I'll still do reviews of the bikes I ride. So thanks for watching. Hope this is interesting. I can't wait to see where this is going, but it seems to be going somewhere really exciting. Share this video, comment, thumbs up if you like it, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next vlog.